Hello everyone, it's Scott. Welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolve Skyblock Expert Mode. So what I've been doing is doing a little bit of upgrades around the base. Let's make some more transfer pipes here. And what I ended up doing was upgrading around the recycler area. So you can see here, let me grab one more thing. Let me grab the kinesis pipe, excellent. And so what I ended up doing is putting 4 times overclockers in each one of these recyclers, and then loading each of them up with cobble to basically bulk produce the scrap that I need to accelerate the UU matter generation. So how I'm doing this is basically loading up. If I could load it like this, okay. So what I've been doing is just kind of pumping everything in, and as I finish another row of connectors here, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and then hooking these up in basically 2 of them sharing a single MV wire connector. So each one of these connectors handles 1000 RF, and that seems to be a good fit for having 4 connectors per block, since 2 of them are sharing the same connector into the RF network. And so what I need to do then is hook this up to the back to the item feed. So let's grab the, I never did grab the transfer pipes. Let me grab those out. Yep, I left them right here. So let's throw them down here. And one of the things I was doing to quickly transfer the settings on all these servos was using a red print. And so just as a quick demo, because this guy is just paper and redstone. And what you do is after you make a servo and set it up and configure it, you right-click with the red print, and then you can just right-click on any other servo, and it'll transfer those settings over. So it's actually extremely handy at doing a bulk setup like this. So at this point, whoops, I don't want scrap. What's the scrap doing? Pulling that out. Okay. Okay, cobble. Okay, cobble. Got it. So make sure all these are loading in. This guy isn't quite synced up yet. So let me grab that. And at some point, I might have to actually throw more. Yep, let me load that up. Just dump these guys off. Yeah, I think I have to put some more speed upgrades here on the end of this chain, so that way I can. Yeah, I think I finally reached the limit of what this transfer pipe can load. Yeah, see, it's not even reaching out here, which means that there's other pieces that are grabbing the cobble before it can move out here and reload. So let me see what's going on here. Yep, okay. And so as a result, the mass fabricator is basically loading in a full scrap box, probably, well, as you can see, every couple seconds, so probably every 5 seconds or so. And so my end goal is to load this whole thing up with overclocker upgrades and hopefully get this down to 0 delay in between scrap boxes. So as a result then, I am up to 1800 millibuckets of UU matter, and I can almost watch it here as it ticks up. So probably, I don't know, about a tick every 30 seconds. So that seems to be okay. And I realized that I miscalculated the total amount of UU that I need. because I only need 16 plates, which means I need 7,680 millibuckets of UU fluid, which at this point I am now at about 1/4 of the way there. So that's been working out pretty good, and that's kind of what I was working on in between episodes. I was fixing up some of the stuff around the disenchantment area. You can see I have a lot more books than I had before. I didn't really work on creating more seeds, but I have been working on loading up gold and iron. Finally, after talking about 5 episodes, I finally loaded up all the crop sticks here, and so I just have to wait for this to start rolling in. I ended up burning my resonant frames to make some advanced machines over here. So I have a resonant pulverizer and a resonant induction smelter, which means at this point I now have the power to create platinum seeds. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So yeah, so that's working out pretty good. Unfortunately, the enervation dynamos are just chewing through redstone, so I might end up making another field of redstone just to kind of keep things up and running, and I am just running out of space left and right. So what I might end up doing is investigating the ender chest at some point. So the ender storage this one, ender storage ender chest, is extremely expensive. Unfortunately, it's going to need an ender tank, so it's going to need yet another machine frame. But once I do that, these are incredibly useful at moving items around because they can go interdimension. Basically, they have the standard vanilla Minecraft ender chest properties, but they can be automated. So that's something that I really want to look at, because unlike the vanilla ones, these can take and push and pull items, and that would work out really well for what I need to do. So let me fix my enervation dynamos, and I'll reset for my next task. Alright, let's try this formula for a enervation dynamo, because I'm going to need them in bulk soon. And I am missing electron gears. Okay, so one of the things I've also wanted to do was work on the Immersive Engineering Metal Press. And so this is another alternative way of getting gears. So you've probably been noticing the multi-metal press here in all the formulas that also use the cast. So what I'm going to end up doing, I think to build this, I'm going to need a couple of items. I'm going to need a heavy construction block, engineering block here, and that's going to need a lot of steel. I'm going to need some conveyor belts here under Immersive Engineering. They're going to need a lot of leather. I'm going to need some pistons, and then some scaffolding, the steel scaffolding, which is going to require a couple more things. So I've been prepping that for a bit. So let's see if I can at least whip any of these up. No, steel rods. Alright, so refined iron. Let's grab a couple of these, and let's make the formula for that, for the rod. So let's head down to the extruder. I'm pretty sure that's where that has to be made. Extruding metal former. No. Okay, so let's take a look at that formula here for the steel rod. Oh, okay. So the steel rod is pretty simple. It's just 2 pieces of steel. Okay. Yeah. So it just seems like every mod has their own formulas for the same looking item. Sorry about that. So let's dial in here. Let's grab the 2 refined iron. Great. And then import that formula here. Okay. And the reason I want to make the enervation dynamos is I seem to be running out of power in my base, so that's definitely turning into an issue for me. I guess it's just the bajillion recyclers that I'm running right now. So let's take a look at the scaffolding. Great. And then we'll build a heavy engineering block. Yep, one of those. Then let's find the conveyor. Not sure if I have leather in my system or not. Okay, good. But that's going to create 8 conveyor belts here. So, excellent. Okay, here's some steel scaffolding. And last but not least, we should have the heavy engineering block rolling in. Alright, so piston. So we'll need 1 regular piston. And that's just a standard chest and iron and redstone. And there we go. So let's figure out where we're going to put this guy. Probably over next to the other grinder here. So let's go down the machine level. I did move the fluid transposer and magnet crucible down here, and I have this set up to basically pump out both ender pearls and redstone formulas right now to make buckets for things that need them in the recipes. But let's see if we can figure out this formula, because there is no GUI for immersive engineering. So we're just going to have to wing it as we roll along. So this looks like a good enough placement. So according to the diagram, I'm going to need 3 steel. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to need to place the piston on top like so. Oh, not like so, because it needs to be facing upwards, I believe. And then lastly, I need the conveyor. Which way is that pointing? Okay. So that's going in. I need 1 coming out. Whoops. That's not what I need. Okay. There we go. Okay, 1 rolling in, 1 rolling out, and then the heavy engineering block on top. And what I'll need to do is hit this with a hammer. So let's find the Immersive Engineering hammer. Here we go, Engineer's hammer. And according to this, I should be able to whack it. Which one gets whacked? Alright, I got this backwards, so let's grab the piston out again, and this needs to be facing down. Oops. Okay. I wonder if I can tap it with the wrench to rotate. Let me just try that quick. Oh, there we go. Okay, facing down. Alright, now let's try hitting it with the hammer. There we go. Alright, so now it's transformed. And, ouch. What hit me? I guess it was the rock crusher again. Okay, so in order to make this work, I'm going to have to load in a gear pattern. Specifically this, the metal gear mold, which is going to be a couple plates plus a gear in the center. So let's figure out what gears I have on hand. Okay, I can make a stone gear pretty easily. So let's grab that, refined iron plate. And, okay, so stone gears are not going to cut it. So let's just grab a tin gear. And there we go. That should give us a metal press mold. Okay, so let's fetch all the 4 refined plate into the inventory. Alright, that took a little while, so let's grab that and metal press mold. Excellent. So let's try grabbing some electrum and then we'll head down to the metal press area. Alright, so this should be as easy as right-clicking, into the metal press. And so I think, am I able to drop these in individually? 1, 2, 3, 4. And what's going to happen next? It needs RF power. Okay, that's it. So where, whoops, ouch, again. So where do we plug in the RF power? Right here on top, it looks like. Okay, so I guess I should probably stick with kinesis pipes. So let's grab a couple of those. And how's my, okay, still have plenty of power in the jetpack. So let's do this and tunnel through here. Oh, okay, good. Even better. Okay. And that is going to power it. Okay, and stamp, and whoops, and done. Okay, so I'm going to need something here to collect the item on the back side. Okay, I don't know if that'll load directly into a chest, but let me build a couple of those and get to the point where I can test this. Alright, I just sent in a request for a whole bunch of pipes. So these are loading up here in the item hopper, and what this should do is drop. Okay, obviously that isn't working. So the hopper is not dropping onto the conveyor belt quite like I expected. So let's grab a couple more conveyor belts out of the system. And let's see if moving this over 1 is going to make the difference. Because according to the diagram I have, it should just be hoppers. And so let's grab that. I think, okay, got it. So if I connect the conveyor belt right, oops, no I don't. Okay, so let's take that out. Okay, shift click. Wrong way. Okay, maybe just a regular click. Yep, there we go. Okay, so let's try putting the hopper here above this guy and seeing if that will... Yep, that's dropping into the conveyor belt now. Okay, and the stamper is then stamping. Excellent. And dropping the gears into the hopper, where the hoppers are then dropping them in the chest, where they're returning into the storage area. So awesome! That's exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, so with that, this is going to be as easy as adding more formulas here with a satellite, my third channel here, putting in the four ingots, and then knocking out the gear. Awesome. Alright, it's actually a couple days later, real time right now. I had my birthday, so I am now, unfortunately, now left the 30s. I'm now 40 years old. So, yep, time for the the next 25 years of working till I can retire. Wonderful. But I also kind of was having a problem where I wouldn't say I lost motivation, but when I look at something that's like this formidable of a time gate, it really kills my enjoyment to move forward when I know that I have to wait like a week before just for the pure sense of waiting, before I can hit some goal. So I was trying to think of things I haven't made recently, and one of the things that I remembered was something in Sky Factory that I actually used a lot that I've been wanting to make again, which is the RFTools Crafter. And so these guys are 3 tiers here. They're basically auto crafters that use 2, 4, and 8 internal recipes. That actually will be pretty cool to. Let me grab level 3. It's going to require level 2, which is, you can see the formulas are rather simple, except for the machine frame, which is another version of a resonant machine frame. And it turns out that I set this up and kind of set and forgot, and so I have 2 more resonant machine frames here that are basically ready to do cool stuff. So let's make that machine frame here, and that's going to require normal stone. So let's drop this in here and put in a request. Okay, and done. And crafter tier 1. Alright, it's going to need some redstone torches and crafting tables, and luckily I have all those hooked up. So ding ding, done. And then what we'll do is let's grab the tier 2 while we're here, and then we'll go on to the tier 3. And while that's ticking, let's grab the couple more servos. Let's grab some item ducts. And what I've been wanting to do is basically fix the automation loop around the nuclear reactor. So I'm going to make sure that I can get that up to fully automated, basically, so I don't even have to tweak it. So I'm in my hazmat gear right here. So I've almost gotten the. I ended up adding a couple more enervation dynamos. I'm almost at the point where this is a continuous feed here. So you can see it's like every now and then I'll get a stack of 2, but you can see how this amplifier is really ripping along here. And as a result, I'm up to 2100 UU matter. So, yep, still ways to go. And so the last thing I wanted to do over here was, as things get pulled out of the reactors, they're going through a thermal centrifuge automatically and dumping into this chest, which is our catch-all. So this is getting uranium, getting plutonium, and what I'd like to do is set up the next level, something that'll feed into the canning machine here, and that's going to be my crafter. So let's figure out how I can get up here. I didn't plan that far ahead. Yeah, let's just make a item duct. Let's make ourselves a little stairwell here to here, and then the crafter can go on top. So think. All right, and so the recipes are pretty simple. So let's hook up a little bit of RF power. So MV wire to here. Okay. And then that'll build up. Oh, it only needs 50,000 RF. That's pretty cool. And if I recall, what I'd like to do is basically, let's just pump everything out of this box so that way it's available in the internal inventory of the crafter. So I can just accelerate this here since I have my gear on. Let's just do a quick transfer. And anything left in the box? Yeah, some plates, some dust, and uranium. So let's load that in. So what I'd like to do is set up some auto crafting formulas. And one of those is I'd like to set up a formula for the tiny piles of uranium to become a full pile of uranium. And so let's get that set up here. I forgot. Okay, so I have to click a slot and then apply it, and that's going to save the auto crafting recipe here, and I have 8 slots that are available. So anytime that I get tiny piles in, they'll automatically whip up the regular plutonium, and then what I'd like to do is set up the MOX formula. So yep, uranium and plutonium. So whoops. Yeah, it's a little clunky with the interface. You have to select first for it to work. So let's do that with the regular plutonium. And you'll notice I do have all the pieces here. So as soon as I hit apply, okay, internal will put the result of the crafting operation in the inventory instead of the output buffer. But I want to put this in the output buffer. So the external will go here. So okay, do I want to keep any MOX in the inventory? No. So as soon as I make it, I want it to throw it into the external buffer here. Plutonium I like to keep in the internal buffer. So I don't want it to export as soon as it's available. So do I want to keep a plutonium behind? No, I want to craft it as soon as I have it available. Remember and forget. Yeah, let's keep those. And so the only other thing I can think of is we would also probably want to make an automatic formula for the regular enriched fuel. You can see that some things came in here. Now, if I want to, yeah, okay. So let's do this, and we'll put it in the external inventory. And so, like that, 13 auto-crafted fuel into the external inventory. And I think that'll be it for now. I'm not going to worry about auto-crafting. I'm not going to worry about auto-crafting the quad fuel cells. I think this will be good enough. So the last thing I need to do is just make an automatic pump from the canning machine over here. So let's throw that in and export. And so that'll export from this inventory down here. Yep, and there it goes. And pump it automatically into the canning machine, which will then create fuel cells, which will then suck out into the chest to be redistributed back into any open slot in the nuclear reactors. Awesome. And I got a couple slots because as you can see, unfortunately the quads aren't producing the plutonium as fast enough as I'd like. Let's see. Do I want to hold those back? No. See, I got a lot of slots open right now. In fact, this whole machine is now empty. And so eventually I like to get to MOX on everything. But for now, this will be a good step to get going. All right, cool. So let's figure out what I can do next. All right, so I just finished another machine frame basic, and so what I'd like to do is make a glacial precipitator. So I've already loaded the formulas in here, And I think this is everything I need. Yep, so invar, redstone, and a piston. And very shortly it should pop out the all the pieces I need. So, yep, 1, 2, 3. There we go. So, Glacial Precipitator, basic. So let's figure out, let's set it up over here. No, I seem to remember it takes water, so let's go down a level and throw it in right here. Yep, and so what I like is I can make snowball, snow, or ice. And so let's figure out how to power it. Okay, so let's grab, since this is an RF machine, let's grab some RF compatible cable, which will be the kinesis pipe. So let's go with 1, 2, and then we'll set it up with on the back side, that'll be our input from the water. Okay, so getting power, getting water, and that's going to produce snowballs. Okay, so why am I doing this? For the what I'm doing is for the blizz rods, right? So the blizz rods are going to produce the blizz powder that I need for producing cryotheum. So snowballs, electrotine, niter. I think I may have seen a formula for that. Let's see. Here we go. Fluid transposer is just redstone plus snowballs. So now that I have a source of snowballs, I could easily load that up in the machine that I created downstairs. So, in fact, let's do that while I'm thinking of it. Do I have? Yep, I have a couple more creative cards. So, in the machine over here. Whoop. Okay. How do I have this configured? So, what I'm going to do is dump in. Okay, so the buckets and snowballs will go in the top. Redstone is already coded to go in the right side. So, I should have a option here to make 1 snowball plus 10 redstone. Okay, so let's load that in here. Bink, bink. And the redstone's gonna, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so the redstone is gonna load in over here into the magma crucible. Yep, where's it going? Okay, going in here in the magma crucible. It's going to melt down and transfer over to the fluid transposer, which should... Okay, I may have overdone that. So let's check that formula again. Oh, it only needs 200. Okay, so that's 2 pieces. Okay, that's way too much then. Alright, so let's edit that formula. For some reason I was thinking it needed a whole bucket. So, boy, this is a super easy formula then. So, okay, so let's do that. Grab the blizz. Grab this as the output. And now I'm all set. So, I keep hitting this with the wrench. Why do I keep hitting with the wrench? I don't know. Alright, so that means I can load this up with 4 more snowballs to make our blizz powder. And that'll clear the backlog here. Okay. Great. And great. So let's, with the blizz powder, what I was thinking to do is making the next tier of augments for the modulation boosters. And then where's the level 3? Yep, this is going to need the cryotheum dust, which is going to require that blizz powder. So, excellent. So let's grab those pieces, head up, and I think that's everything I'm going to do this episode. So it's going to take a while to make the augments. I'm going to need 18 of those, which means I'm going to need... Okay, am I going to have niter? Where's niter? Seem to recall there's a... Okay, pulverizer of blitz rods or pulverizer of sandstone with a byproduct. Chance. Okay, so I'm going to have to set up a machine to basically auto pulverize the sandstone in a loop here in order to get my niter. So it's probably by the beginning of the next episode I'll have that ready to go. So if you could, please leave a comment or a like. Let me know how I'm doing, and I'll see you next time in Feed the Beast Infinity Evolve Skyblock Expert Mode. Bye!